Where is the wind that blows the clouds? Where is the wind whose breeze schools the land? And where is the wind that pollinates the flowers? Where is the wind that brings me peace of mind and love divine? There's a fresh wind of elevation. There's a fresh wind for acceleration. There's a fresh wind of understanding. There's a fresh wind of revelation. There's a fresh wind of elevation. There's a fresh wind of acceleration. And there's a fresh wind of understanding. New wind, fresh wind blowing down. Where is the wind that causes ships to sail? And where is the wind that cools my steady face? Where is the wind that lifts the waves of the sea? And where is the wind that blows just like the seven spirits of my God? There's a fresh wind of elevation.
Hallelujah.
There's a fresh
Welcome
wind
to
for
Acceleration.
acceleration. There's a fresh wind of understanding.
Philosophy and
There's a fresh wind
This is the
of revelation.
for
There's a fresh wind
science,
of elevation. There's a fresh wind for acceleration.
and that
There's a
is
fresh
our
wind
song
of understanding.
Fresh Wind.
Fresh wind
And
blowing.
it was written by myself and sung and performed by me, and it was inspired
Let it blow. New wind.
inspired by our bishop, and he's a bishop, presiding bishop over our church, LGBTQ Affirming Church in Nairobi, Kenya. And I love the song very much. It was inspired by the word that God gave him for the year. And it was called, the word was that there is a fresh wind blowing all over the world. And when I got the track, that's what came out of my mind, the whole issue of a fresh wind. And I like it so much because wind in the Bible is used to represent the Spirit of God and the spirits of God. Yes. And that's what people need to know. Even in very many, I already did another video when I talked about God being a spirit. Many African cultures call the wind God. Like in Sudan, they call it the spirit Jok or Jok. It's the spirit, the wind, those are the gods. And Jesus also said the same in John chapter 3, that the spirit is like the wind. Nobody knows where it blows. It goes everywhere. It's not, you can't tell where it's going. Yes, that's how wind is. And that's, now when we sing about a fresh wind, it's a fresh idea, it's a fresh understanding, it's a fresh revelation of things. And what I like it is that, yes, that's what has happened to the world. We have become more and more knowledgeable about very many things. The humans of today are nowhere near the humans of 100 years ago. Absolutely, they are miles away. In fact, in Africa, we are not close to our forefathers. If you find an African close to the forefathers, it's very conservative. They wear clothes, but they still think like them. Those ones are conservative. But those ones who are liberated, because the opposite of being a conservative is to be liberated. And you're liberated by knowledge. That's why we did a video on Rex Arthur. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. That's what Bob Marley sang. And none but us can free our minds. And Lucky Dube also sang that they don't want to build schools anymore. All they want to build is prison. And meaning, why? A school is a place of liberation. You get knowledge and you understand. And you pick what you want. You see? When you go to school, you want to be a doctor. Not everybody wants to be a doctor in school. Some people want to be musicians. Yes, I remember in class, the teacher asked everybody what they want to do. When they came to me, I said, I want to be a musicologist. And they were like, what? Yes, I told them I want to be a musicologist. I've even done the research of what musicology is, you know. And what made them laugh was they have never heard someone say musicologist. Yes, and that's what you understand. So, what am I trying to tell you? You see, that is diversity of vision. And it only happens when you go to school. You go to school and they give you all the knowledge you need. They teach you music, they teach you art, they teach you science, they teach you biology, they teach you languages. And then you're in the class and then you look at this lesson and say, I like this one. And then when you like it so much, you even say, I want to be a French teacher. You see? So then people go to school and they enjoy themselves, and then after school they go and become teachers, they go and become doctors, engineers, artists, musicians. So that's why I like Lucky Dube's song. We are supposed to build more schools. But guess what? His prophecy has been fulfilled. Prisons today are schools. Yes, people in very many prisons are being taught how to, they are being taught how to do things. And so even when they come out of prison, they are empowered. So the problem we have today is everybody is so knowledgeable on very many things. And that's what is happening. That's why you find some countries, governments are not able to control their people. It's because they've known a lot. Other countries are okay. You know, Scandinavian countries, they're not having problems. I was laughing at somebody that they were so shocked that in the list of the happiest countries that has been released, why is it suicide is very high? It's because people think people commit suicide because of stress. Wrong. You can even commit suicide because of boredom. Life is so predictable. You wake up every morning, you even know what you're going to do at 3:30. They get bored. They just say, let me die. And they die. So suicide is not necessarily about stress. There are many reasons why people commit suicide. That's what you need to understand. And yes, that's in the West. Very well developed countries, people are still committing suicide. There's even assisted suicide, which is understandable. Yeah, you have a lot of pain in your body, extreme pain. And then they tell you you'll be like that for a very long time. They can't solve that pain. You'll be mad to continue in that pain. Yes, and that's why it's called assisted suicide. They just kill you. Yeah. They kill you because you can't, the pain is too much. Okay, enough of that. Was just from my song and that inspiration. And speaking of my song, we have even put our playlist Nagan Music to the channel, so you can go through the songs on Nagan Music. Nagan Music is my YouTube music channel where I still sing. Of course, Fresh Wind has just been uploaded, and we also have Nagan Music One on SoundCloud, and that's where we've been putting our songs. Um, in my life, apart from reading law and other things, I was a musician. I really love music, really love it, and I listen to songs, and I love gospel music. I love black gospel. Oh my God, I that's if I'm to choose music, I love all music. Arabic music, I love it. European music, I love it. But black music, especially from America, oh my God, they are mad, mad people, and I just love. I always praise them. And if I meet a guy who plays black music, you become my friend immediately. Yes, it's beautiful. It's very complicated. I think the beauty of black music, especially American black music. It's a mixture of complicated African rhythms and Western melodies. It's beautiful, and it was a very good mix that happened. And I always listen to the music, R&B, gospel, soul, and I felt, yeah, this is the thing. And so that's what used to inspire me to play music. Actually, when I learned music, I was mostly in classical, the church music, hymns. Then, because I liked jazz and this black music sound, I learned how to play by ear and listen by ear. And once that happened, that was it. So I have very many stories about my music life, and I still love it. And I also still play keyboard at the church, the LGBTQ church, and I'm very happy. I'm honored to do that, and I sing also. So now you can listen to my songs on Nagan Music, which is on the playlist. Okay, now we want to finish the Women History Month. We have been going through it in the month of March, and every week we've been doing one video about females. And reason being, we are honoring women for their life and the struggles they've gone through. Remember, we are all men and women. Yes, we are all intersex. It's just that some are more intersex than others. Yes, every man has a woman in him. His, not, not what do you call it? Not if he gets a wife. No, 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 no. You already have a woman in you. If you're a man, and if you're a woman, you already have a man in you. And it is even shown in biology, because the Y chromosome is a man's chromosome, and the X chromosome is a man's chromosome. This is why I'm going to do research. Who came first, really? The man or the woman? Because I read another book that said the woman should have come first because naturally she gives birth. So the first human being should be a woman because she's the one who gives birth. But when I thought about it again, I said, if she's giving birth, how did she get that baby? And then the answer was, it's the man who determines the sex of the child. Because the woman forever carries X, unless she's an XXY woman. Yes, there are women who have Ys. Their eggs have Y. So, but the man naturally or normally is the one who determines the sex of the child. So what does that mean? That it should be a man who was created first or who came first. It should be a man. And I'm still to do the research, so I'm not going to talk about it now. So just leave, go and ask yourself that question. Of course, religion has already answered it. Most religions, Christianity, Judaism, the Quran, they say it was the first human was a man, then a woman was created. And yeah, it could make sense because the angels are considered to be male. Yes. And because they are considered to be male, it could be that when God created the first human, he started with a man because he was already surrounded with males. And there's a weird reason. Why did he create males? And make angels to be males? And who said all angels are males? You see? So there's a lot of things we don't know about the spiritual world and religion. And because of that, we speculate. We speculate a lot, and we think that because nobody knows the sex of God. Yeah, nobody knows it. That's why I say God is a rainbow God. Yes, he is gender fluid. He's all the sexes. He's gay, he's bi, he's trans, he's queer, he's pan, he's asexual, he's agender, he has no gender. He's everything, like the rainbow colors. You know, like with the song I've just sung. The spirits of God are 7. And a spirit is a wavelength. So God has 7 wavelengths. Therefore, we also have 7 wavelengths. Spirits are wavelengths. And when we're going to discuss about the rainbow, we're going to discuss the science of the rainbow. And you'll be amazed. It is amazing. Oh my God, I don't know how to say it. It is thoroughly amazing. And that's diversity. So if God has 7 spirits, every human has 7 spirits. Because we are created in the image of God. Every human has 7 spirits. Then after that, you can have more spirits. That's why the man Jesus met who had 1,000 demons, was it 1,100? Legion. The guy was so violent. He was so violent because he had very many spirits. You see, when a mad person is actually a person filled with very many spirits. Because a sane person will have his 7 spirits and is organized, he can try. You see, we are all mad, but there are degrees of madness. Yes, because why should you have 7 spirits? It can make you mad. Yes. So, the violent people tend to have very many spirits. That's my understanding. Because even in the Bible, the sons of Sceva, when they tried to exorcise the man who had spirits, he beat them up violently. Why? He had more spiritual power. Fighting is very spiritual. Physical fighting, yes. The guy beat them up. They left the place naked. 7 sons. They left naked. Because the spirits told them, we know Paul. We know Jesus. We know Peter. But we don't know you. You see? So they fought. The man beat up those people. The spirit spoke through him. And you see, speaking is spiritual. It's air. It's wind. It goes through the windpipe. You have a windpipe. I'm talking. This is my spirit. It's talking. So anytime you hear someone talking, that is spirit. That's why prayer is a spiritual act. Blessing and cursing is a spiritual act. Speaking in public is a spiritual act. You see? That's why you understand the personalities of people by how they speak and what they say. You know a nice person by what they say. Jesus said, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. The mouth is a gate. It's a spiritual gate. So enough of that. So we're just discussing about spirits, and today we are going to look at, because it's a Women's History Month, we're going to look at the female spirits. Those are goddesses. They are the female spirits, because our God is a spirit. That's why the LGBT community is very important, because they are lesbian gods. Yes, they are gay gods. They are bisexual gods and goddesses. They are transgender gods and goddesses. They are intersex gods and goddesses. We are all gods. All. Every human being is a god. Followed by animals. You see, animism means everything has a spirit. So if everything has a spirit, then everything is a god. You see why the earth is a spirit? I mean, the earth is a god. Earthquakes. Those are vibrations. Earthquakes happen every day. Those are vibrations. And sometimes the vibrations become louder. You see, the sea, it has waves. Those are vibrations. And what is vibration? Vibra. From the word land, life. Vibrant. Every time you see VI in Latin, it is talking about life. Especially vitality, and vibrancy. And virility. And virus. So anyway, so we are now going to look at the female spirits all over the world, and we're going to touch a few of them, and then we'll be done, so that we can remember in Women's History Month, also women are divine. Also females were considered to be divine, much as males are considered to be divine, and much as the third sex are considered to be divine. Like Islam has a third sex God. Yes, he has no gender. Allah has no gender. We don't know whether it is he or she. We just know it's we. Yes, so Allah is third sex. And when in third sex, you can be anything. Today you're a man, tomorrow you're a woman, tomorrow you have no gender, the next day you're bisexual. Sorry about that. Oh, I've lost the page. Tomorrow you're bisexual. Okay, so now let's go through the list. Now look at these different countries. Now we go to the first group is the Afro-Asiatic tribes in Africa mythology. And Ethiopia has a goddess called That Badan. And then you have Atete in the Kafa. Now look at Ethiopia. It just has one goddess. So you'll find some cultures have very few goddesses, others have very many. Look at Niger Congo, the Akan of Ghana, Asaseya, and Ambundu. So the Akan just have one goddess, according to this article. Of course, this list is not complete. Have they said that? They haven't said it. But in my view, it's not complete, because like the Baganda, we know that the other goddesses, these are not the only ones. Nagadia and Nagawonyi is a goddess. And then the Dahomey has Gleti. Igbo, look at Igbo, they have Ahianjoku. And the Shona have Jivaguru. Look at the Yoruba. My goodness, they have so many goddesses. Aja, Olokun, Orisa, Oluwa, Yemoja. Zulus also have Inkosikazi and Usikuku Madevu. Those are the goddesses in Zulu. Now, Nilo-Saharan, these are Africans who came from Egypt. They are mainly Egyptian. Of course, even these ones are also Egyptians. Yes, all Africans came from Egypt, in my view. Majority of them. Maybe the Hottentots and the Khoisan, they were not from Egypt, but that's why they are very light-skinned. They didn't live in the equator. But the rest of the other Africans, including these ones, the Niger Congo, my belief, they came from Egypt because they have a lot of similarities, you know. Like West Africans, they have very many idols, just like Egypt. So they learned how to carve, make carvings. But when you go to some of the Southern African tribes, some of them don't have carvings for God. So that means they didn't have that culture. Okay, so the Dinka have a book, and the Kalenjin have the Arawa, Seta, Topo. Maasai have Nambi, which is similar to Baganda, and Nuer have a call or book, and Shilluk have Diang, and Songhai have Isa, like Jesus Christ. Now, Afro-American mythology, this is Afro-Brazilian. They have gods like Nana, Lemanja, Yemaya, Anaisa, La Sireni, and then Ainus have Kamui Uchi and Yushkep Kamui. And Albanians, can you see Albania? It's a white country, or Slavonic. They had goddesses. So don't be cheated that whites just believed in Jesus. No, they also had goddesses. Prende. Look at the Arabs. Yes, Arabs, Muslims, people think they were born with Islam. No. Before Islam came, they were worshipping many gods, including Kaaba. The black stone is a goddess. There was an idol that was worshipped. So Prophet Muhammad called that Satan and went to stone it. And that's what happened. Because Prophet Muhammad was against idolatry. And the Arab world was very idolatrous. And I was listening to something today, and I was very happy, amused that Prophet Muhammad was poisoned. You see, they were not happy with him. He was destroying their culture of worshipping many gods. Have you noticed all of these people who bring new things, they are killed in funny ways? Jesus was killed because he brought new wine. Muhammad was killed. That poisoning was killing. They killed him because he brought new wine. The only lucky guy in history is Martin Luther, the German. He was protected by a prince. Otherwise, he was going to be killed by Rome. Then Martin Luther King Jr. Of course, he's not lucky. Everyone is going to die. Come on. Everyone is going to die. So it's just the time when you die that is different. Martin Luther King Jr. killed. Malcolm X killed. John F. Kennedy killed. New wine. Every time you bring new wine, be prepared. Yes, be prepared to pay the price for new wine. Okay, Suwa. Then Nabatean have Chabu. And then we come to Armenians, Bagmasti and Saris. Then you have the Aborigines. Wow, Angea, Wala, Dilga. Latvia has Krumumate, Lopez Mate, Saule, Ziedu Mate. Lithuania has Birute, Gabija, Indraja, Mediana. Look at, oh my goodness, look at that country. Lithuania, my Lord. All those women being worshipped. Then Prussia, Lima, and Semine, Basque mythology, Aide, Marie, Berber, Libya, the country Libya is a goddess. Guanche, Magek, Mahayan, Durjaya, that's Indian, Karini, Kesini, Tara, Vajrayana has a Krismati, Ekajati. Tibetans have Chenzerekhi, Nairatmya, Vasudhara, Burmese, Medao, Celtic, British have Agrona. Look at Britain. Gave you Christianity, but they had goddesses before. Britannia, including Britain, it is a goddess. Lattice, Apane. Then the Gaulish have Atio. Irish have Tailtiu. Because of the list is so long, we'll just do one and then we touch different goddesses. You can come and look at this list later on. So Scott has Beria, Welsh has Dawn, Cham has Yan, Chinese have Chuangmu, and many others. The Dadik has Disani, and Egypt. Look at Egypt. Wow, so many goddesses with A, B. Eye of Ra is a goddess. Mersetger. Look at Egypt. My goodness, worshipped so many female spirits. Serka, Menrav, German. Look at German. Friday, Frigg, and Frijo. And Tamfana. Look at Norway with Hiln. Akeso in Greece. Oh, Greece has so many goddesses. Athena. Athens, the city, is named after a goddess. Circe, Mother Circe. This is where you get the word church. Is also a goddess. Look at Greece. My goodness. They were so polytheistic. It hurts. Very long list. Mishanian had Maga, and Puranic had Agneya, and many others. Look at them. Wow. Marwari have Nagenchia. Modern Hindu, Bharat Mata, Ila, Manda. Look at India. Oof. All of those goddesses. Jainism have Ambika. Hittites have Istustaya. Ibero have Ategina. Inuit have Akna. Iran, they're not Muslim. They did start as Muslims. They had goddesses. Anahita, Drapspa. Japanese have Akina Gatarashim Hime, Amono Zako. Look at Japan. Very many goddesses. Buddhists, Kanon, Uga Benzaiten. Korean, Chuksin, Eopsin. Akkadian had Ashnan. Ishtar, the great goddess of Babylon, Venus. Elamite had Pinkir, Linsin. Anconian had Nokami and Asibikashi. And look at these ones, Mayahuel, Muskogean. Oh, too long. I had to do that. The Hopi, these are the American Indians, the Hopi and Koko Pelemimi. Look at the goddesses they had, the female spirits. Yaruro. Philippine mythology, Daragang Magayon. Apong Singkon. Oh, I've seen something that looks like my name. Is it? Let me confirm. It was somewhere there. I thought it was I saw an A and I was wondering, oh my God, you mean I'm named after another goddess? Jesus Christ. Laka, Hawaii had very many female spirits, goddesses. Miru, Rapa Nui, Solomon Islands had Atua Fafine. Then you come to Rome, Roman Catholic Church. Sorry, they didn't start with the Roman Catholic Church. They already had their gods. Africa is a goddess in Rome. We have to get this one. Let me try and we have to discuss about Africa. So those who think Africa is those who think Africa, they think Africa is just a continent, is actually a name. Is a name of a goddess. So we have to go through that. So Dedia and Panda. There's a name I've seen that I like, Libertas. Yes, the Statue of Liberty. Liberty is also so she's a goddess. So the goddess is in New York. Yes, very wonderful. The female spirit of liberty. Baba Yaga. Uzveina. Who is this tribe or nation? The Slavs, yes. The Russians. You see, look at them. They had goddesses like nothing. Taiwanese, Ina. And Thai, Nang Kwaka. And Turkey had Kubai. Turkey is not just Muslim. They have goddesses. Finnish, Ajatar. Vainika. Vietnamese, Haibath Trung. West Semitic, Ashima. Amorites had Asherah. And Syrian. And then Wiccan had triple goddess. And then you have countries that have national personifications. This means the country is personified, takes the person of a goddess. So these are the countries that are goddesses. Albania, Armenia, Bangladesh, Brazil, Finland, France, Marianne, Greece, Hellas, Iceland, India, Bharat Mata, Italy, Turita, Malta, Melita, Portugal, Russia is also a goddess, Spain is a goddess, United Kingdom is Britannia, United States, we've told you, is a goddess, Lady Liberty, and Colombia. Remember Colombia pictures? The woman there, standing with a lamp. And that's what you have to understand. Then you have fictional goddesses. These ones are created, because you can create a goddess. Yes, Middle Earth, you have all of these ones. Lovecraft, you have Shub-Niggurath. So just look at all of these female spirits, aka female goddesses, and remember, all human beings are gods. It's just that we are in different levels, and that's why so women are more in the world just by 1% or 2%. Excuse me, 2%. So there are more female spirits in the world than male spirits. Now, for some people, that means there's more negative energy than positive energy. But it's weird. The Holy Spirit in Christianity is a feminine spirit to some Christians, not all. Yet, is a Holy Spirit, meaning it's a positive spirit. You see? It's not negative, because in Eastern religions, and this is what I question people. In Eastern religions, the female spirit is naturally negative. That's what they say. Yin. you know, is negative. All the bad things from a woman. But the Holy Spirit is feminine, according to Christians. And when you read it, when you read about the Holy Spirit, it's very nice, gentle, kind, soft. Even you're told, don't grieve the Holy Spirit, you know. So that doesn't sound like negative energy. That's very positive energy. And I also tell people, forget this thing positive, negative. Once you have neuter, energy is energy. Yes. There is energy which does not cause positive effects or negative effects, but it works. Yes. So that's neutered. That's why you have black magic, white magic, and gray magic. Because gray is in the middle. It's not bad, it's not good. It's just there. Anyway, we're talking, that's power. We've already told you about power. All power is in a cosmic space person called God. Okay, now let's go through these some of these goddesses. I want to start with Africa. I'm so happy. Goddess Africa, also known as Dear Africa, was the personification of Africa by the Romans in the early centuries of the Common Era. She was one of the fertility and abundance deities to her. Her iconography typically included an elephant mask head dress, curly hair, broad nose, and a cornucopia and a lion. Beautiful description of Goddess Africa. Unbelievable. She is portrayed on some coins carved and mosaics in Roman Africa. Listen to what Kolas said about the statement by Pliny the Elder. No one in Africa does anything without first calling on Africa, calling on the goddess Africa. So that's what they believed. Wow. So it's just interesting that the whole continent of Africa is named after the goddess Africa. So Romans already had their own goddesses of fertility and abundance, and there was no need for a competing goddess with the same deity role. Yeah, so you see, look at the animals that represent Africa. An elephant and a lion. And a sanctuary for Goddess Africa is found in Timgad, Tamugad in Berber. And that should be in North Africa. As you can see, Tunisia is there. Okay, good. Let's look at another goddess. There's a triple goddesses, the Trinity, female Trinity, found by many neo-pagans. And in common neo-pagan, the three female figures are frequently described as the maiden, the mother, and the crone, each of which symbolizes both a separate stage in the female cycle and a phase of the moon, and often rules one of the realms of the earth, underworld, and the heavens. So you have to understand the world, the cosmos. It is big. We don't even know it very well, because there's up the sky and there's down the sky, the earth. So that's the underworld. And then you have the overworld, that's heaven. And then even you have depths in the sea and depths in the earth. Oh my, this universe is beyond our understanding. Now, for neo-pagans, they believe they have a trinity, all female trinity, the maiden, the mother, and the crone. And they use the female cycle. Females are wired to the moon. But as I told you, because we are all intersex, meaning we have male and female hormones, even men are wired to the moon. Their female side is wired to the moon. So that's why men can even have mood swings. And most men who have very many mood swings, they are in touch with their feminine side, meaning they are becoming too moony. Yes. And you see, tough women are a bit very solar. We're going to do another video about the calendars. Oh my, it will blow your mind away. You know, there are lunisolar calendars and solar calendars and lunar calendars. We're going to discuss that. And in terms of sexuality, because solar calendars are very masculine and lunar calendars are very feminine, but lunisolar are a mixture of male and female. And to me, the best calendar is lunisolar because it's a mixture of male and female. It is actually a human being because human beings have both male and female parts. It's beautiful. The goddess of Wicca's duotheistic theology is sometimes portrayed as a triple goddess, her masculine consort being the horned god. So triple goddess is found in very many religions. Like in Simta Holas, Hera was worshipped as a girl, a grown-up, and a widow. So that is where the tripartite deity was found. Good. So it's a very deep article. We don't want to go so deep into it, but know that there are some people who have a trinity that just has women. Okay. I'm trying to close it so we can go to another goddess. Now, Muroi Haibamu are 12 midwives from Vietnamese mythology. They are the 12 fairies who teach babies various prosperous traits and skills, such as suckling and smiling. So there's a belief that these 12 ladies go and teach children how to smile and how to eat. Flora is a Roman goddess, Sabine, goddess of flowers and of the season of spring. So right now, it's springtime, so they are going to be worshipping Flora. And she's a symbol for nature and flowers. While she was otherwise a relative minor figure in Roman mythology, her association with the springtime, particular importance at the springtime, as did her role as the goddess of youth. Her counterpart is Chloris. Okay. In Maori mythology, Arohirohi is the goddess of mirages and shimmering heat and is the wife of Tamanuetara, the sun. What I like about these mythologies, some goddesses had husbands, others did not. And also it's beautiful. Oh, it's just lovely. You see, that's what people need to understand about life. It's just free. Do what you want. Sometimes I believe these goddesses were just human beings who were now deified when they died. They were great human beings and then they were deified. That's what I think. Itzapapatolotl is an Aztec religion, was a striking skeletal warrior goddess who ruled over the paradise of Tamoanchan, the paradise of victims of infant mortality, and the place identified as where humans were created. So this goddess is a warrior who has the paradise of the victims of any infant who was killed. Some of her associates are birds and fire. However, she primarily appears in the form of the obsidian butterfly. So whenever you see insects and animals marauding, walking around, to some people, for some people, those are gods. They are coming. Yes, even when you see a snake, if you are a very serious animist, even if you see a mosquito, that's a god has come for you. So that's what these people have been saying in the Aztec religion. And she is a warrior goddess. Now, the Holy Spirit is the breath of God, the wind of God, the Spirit of Christ, and Ruach HaKodesh. And is respected in Christianity. It has also been in Hellenistic mystery religions. And I'm trying to find where they will talk about the sex. of the Holy Spirit. You see how very big it is, because both Christianity and Hebrew, though I think let's look at Judaism a bit. Ruach Kodesh. Yeah, you see, Zoroastrianism also had the Holy Spirit called Spenta Mainu, and is a spirit of life. And in Sikhism, the Guru is the medium, and the Holy Spirit is stated to have moved from Guru Nanak to the 9 Sikh Gurus who followed him, culminating with Guru Gobind Singh. So they also have a Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is compared to the Buddha nature or Christ consciousness, and is a means through which the faithful develop and journey through the spiritual goal in Buddhism. The concept of Advaita is linked to the Trinity in Hinduism, and they also have a Trinity. So this is where the Trinity could have come, because Hinduism was first before Christianity. And then the Baha'is also have the most great spirit, and they believe this is a spirit that fell on the messengers, Jesus, Muhammad. That's what I like about the Baha'i faith. It's very diverse. And they believe Jesus is a prophet. They believe Muhammad is a prophet. They believe Baha'u'llah is a prophet. Beautiful. Oh, the Baha'is. Can't wait to talk about them one day. They have a very, very brilliant religion. First of all, they don't have morals. Yes, there is no good or bad. Life is life. I like them for that. Spiritually, life is life. There is no good or bad. Naturally, we make laws, and that is subjective, because some of us make laws against things that other people don't make laws against. So I love Baha'i for that. We'll do their study next time. The Holy Spirit in Islam is mentioned only 4 times in the Quran as Ruh al-Qudus, where it acts as an agent of divine action or communication. So even Islam has the Holy Spirit. So, contrary to Christians who don't think they don't have a Holy Spirit, there you are, they have the Holy Spirit. So Christianity also has a Holy Spirit. I was looking for the sex and I'm not seeing it coming up. So I think it was not they haven't really explained it, the feminine, but they just talk about the Holy Spirit. Oh, I need to finish with Hebrew. That was what I was looking for. Sorry about that. So in the Hebrew is Ruach HaKodesh, which is spirit of holiness or spirit of the holy place. That's what I wanted. It's not necessarily the holiness that is clean, but is the place. He comes from God's place, or she comes from God's place, whatever you want, sex you want to give the Holy Spirit. Okay, enough of that. Now, Shekinah is the English transliteration of a Hebrew word meaning dwelling or settling, the divine presence of God. This term does not occur in the Bible and is from rabbinic literature. So it is not from the Bible. So most likely it is, the root word is often used to refer to birds nesting and nests. Wonderful, because Ken in Hebrew is nest, and so that's why Shekinah, kin or Ken, the KN is the nest, the tabernacle. You see Mishkan, you see Kan. So the beauty of Hebrew, Kan, Kin, Ken, Kon, Kun are the same. They have the same meaning. So that's what you see, Mishkan. And if you are a Swahili person, Maskani, Kani is wonderful. So in Judaism, Shekinah represents the feminine attributes of the presence of God. Shekinah being a feminine word in Hebrew, based especially on the readings of the Talmud. This is a very nice article. I will read it later on, so I won't close it. Okay, let's go to another one. The Cowhead and the Weaver Girl. No, this is a story, so I don't think we need that one. Anahita is the form of an Iranian goddess and appears in complete and form as Aredvisura Anahita. Good. So there you are. Iran also has a goddess. Allah, Lady Allah in Luwian appears in the Bronze Age Hittite texts and several Iron Age Luwian texts. And perhaps Allah was generally worshipped with the god of the meadow, Inara, in the Bronze Age. And Allah of the animal world, Allah of the quiver, Allah of the bow, which marks her out as the goddess of hunting amongst the Hittites. Now, Cybele, she may have been a possible forerunner for the Neolithic Katal Hoyuk, where statues of plump women, sometimes sitting, have been found in excavations. Her Fijian cult was adopted and adapted by Greeks and spread into mainland Greece. Now, Cybele was a very interesting goddess. She's partly Mother Earth and Harvest Mother goddess. And why I'm liking her, she had a eunuch mendicant priesthood, meaning men, the priests were eunuchs. Yes. And it is Cybele that one of the religions that encouraged men to be celibate. This was the one. Because a eunuch is a celibate. Most eunuchs, they don't marry. Yes. So this was Cybele, and it was very common in Greece. And the why this is very important, it tells you how it can influence other religions to have celibacy. And and that's why you have Cybele, the goddess here. Very nice one. I want to read it again, so I won't close it. You know, some of these things I read before. Astrid Rild is a relatively late Nordic name for Amor or Cupid, and that is from Norway, so it's a goddess of love. And then you have Frijo, is the love goddess of Germany, and is the spouse of the chief god Odin. I love that name. It's so interesting. It's so African. So Phrygia is Venus. And that's where you get the word Friday, which is also to refer to the god of love. You know, people like having fun on Friday night because of Phrygia. Now we come to Isis. Isis was a major goddess in ancient Egypt whose worship spread throughout the Greco-Roman world. And she resurrects her slain husband, the divine king Osiris, and produces and protects his heir, Horus. She was believed to help the dead enter the afterlife as she helped Osiris, and she was considered the divine mother of Pharaoh, who was linked to Horus. And she had healing spells, and she's a woman wearing a throne like a hieroglyphic on her head. So very important, and she was worshipped also in Nubia, that's Black Egypt. And that's wonderful to understand the power of Isis. Yes, even in Black Africa today, there are some tribes that worship Isis, but they call her Asis. Okay, Eye of Ra is a being in ancient Egyptian mythology that functions as a feminine counterpart to the sun god Ra, and a violent force that subdues his enemies. So are you seeing the feminine god is our eye, the Eye of Ra? Wow, unbelievable. And the Eye goddess acts as a mother, sibling, consort, and daughter of the sun god. She is his partner in the creative cycle in which he begets the renewed form of himself that is born at dawn. So every day, Ra is being born again. Yes, this issue of born again, it is from ancient Egypt. And it will, every day the sun comes up, it's being born again. Every day you wake up is your birthday. Yes, every day you wake up, it's your birthday. That's why the mercies of God are new every morning. That's Egyptian theology. Very beautiful. Oh my God, these people were so deep. They are making me not close these pages. I'm going to go back and read that one. And then you have Ati. He's a Finnish goddess of poetry. So you can see Finland. You look at them and you think, oh, these guys are so Christian. Oh no. It's so funny. Bai Mudan is a character from the Chinese mythology. And okay, that's not necessarily goddess. That's why you see Chinese are very atheist. They don't believe a lot of these things that we are struggling to keep. And I value atheism because it's very natural, it's very physical. They are not thinking about the celeste, heaven. They are thinking about terra, the earth. All right, presumed goddess of the Irish, Tailitiu. And what was her job? Can you see? This is a goddess who died. So when you notice about the Celtic religions worship gods that were human beings and they did great jobs and then they die. So these are terrestrial gods. That's why we humans, we are gods, but we are terrestrial gods, meaning we are subject to the laws of the terra. And the laws of the terra is that terrestrial beings die. But a celestial being doesn't die. It doesn't. It is a spirit. Even if it has a body, its body is not terrestrial. That's why the body of Jesus Christ, his resurrected body, is a very interesting body. People have still not understood that body because it could fly, it could disappear. It's unbelievable. So terrestrial gods like us, humans, we die. We go to the earth. But not celestial gods. Okay, another god, Britannia. Yes, this is Britain now. It was a Pretani, or as the Greeks called Pretanike, Britannia. And I want to see what's the work of this god. Is a name given to the female personification of the island, and it's a term still used to refer to the whole island. That's Britain. That includes Scotland. So I think it's not necessarily a name. I think it's just personifying the island. Okay, let's finish with that one. I don't need those ones now. These are the ones I'm keeping. Shekinah, Cybele, Eye of Ra. Those ones I have to read. Okay, Anauk Mibaya. This is one of the Burmese 37 Nats, that's the goddesses. And she allegedly died of a heart attack after being startled by seeing Min Kiawazwa or Min Gwai on a magic stallion in a cotton field. Beautiful stories. It's just unbelievable that she died of a heart attack. I'm so sorry that happened to a goddess. Can you imagine? Goddesses also die, even gods. I mean, Jesus was a god and he was killed. Then he resurrected. Hariti is both a revered goddess and demon in some Buddhist traditions. So what are you learning? The importance of QSTPS. It is a multicultural, multi-religious, multi-philosophical, multi-spiritual center and channel. So demons also exist in Buddhism. So you need to know what is Buddhist demonology, what is Islamic demonology, what is Christian demonology. Why are we doing this to you? Why are we teaching you about these things? Why are we whetting your appetite? So that you can know the cosmologies of the world, and it makes you understand the world very well, and it makes you to understand people from different cultures very well. You know why colonization was a problem? The colonizer did not know the colonized. They needed to understand. There would be no world war if we understand each other. It's as simple as that. So that's why we're doing that. So you see Kishomojin as a demon mistress with the infant. So she was a female demon of misery and unhappiness towards children and parents. So there you are. And she has counterparts in the Greek religion. Good. All right. Kuna Pipi is an Australian Aboriginal mother goddess and the patron deity of many heroes. She gave birth to human god beings as well as to most animals and plants, and mother goddess and patron deity of many heroes. She was an old woman once traveled across the land with a band of heroes and heroines during the ancestral period. She gave birth to men and women as well as creating natural species. She could transform herself either. Beautiful. Hey, Ribahande. We have got a wonderful revelation here. She could transform herself into a male or female version of the rainbow snake. My God. This is beautiful. See, she was a rainbow snake. And she could change into man and woman. Oh, the Aborigines. Beautiful thought. That's why they are great. You know what I've come to learn about ancient religions and ancient cultures, and therefore ancient cults? They were very deep in spirituality. Do you know now, the later your religion, the weaker is spirituality, because we are such a natural physical world. Yes. These guys did not have computers, so they had time to think. They had time to wonder and speculate. Now we have computers, we have money, we have buildings, we have cars. Our mind is so fixated on the natural world. We cannot come up with such beautiful thoughts. You see this one? This is enough to say Kuna Pipi is the creator of the world. And how did she create the world? By giving birth to animals, even the plants. Beautiful. Oh, this one we have to read it, so we're not closing that one. Nice. Now let's go to Arabs. Alalat is a name used to refer to the multiple goddesses worshipped in the ancient Near East, Asherah Athirat. You see? So Arabs also had worshipped goddesses. And as I told you, in the book of Ezekiel, this goddess was erected because she's the goddess of barley meal and was associated with the idol of jealousy. Because the barley meal was brought by the husband who suspected his wife of infidelity. And so he brought the barley meal. And if the woman's thigh swells, then she committed adultery. So this is the goddess that was borrowed. Oh my, we will not leave this story. We're going to read it later on. So that is Alalat. And Aizan is the lord of the marketplace and commerce in Voodoo, especially in Haiti. She's a Racine root flower associated with the voodoo rites of initiation called Kanzo. Her husband, Hungan, Aizan, is regarded as the first Mambo priestess and is associated with the priestly knowledge and mysteries, particularly those of initiation and the natural world. So she is, this is Haiti, and she is a goddess and voodoo goddess Aizan. And Haiti, by the way, is a very, very spiritual country. And I've noticed something about spiritual places, they are not very rich. It's so weird. Haiti is like that in America, just near America, and it's very poor. And Africa is the poorest continent in the world, and but they are very spiritual. So I think there's a connection between spirituality and prosperity. Yes, China is the atheist number one atheist country in the world, and it's number two, and its economy is scaring even America because they are not focusing on religion. It is common sense. If you focus on religion or spirituality, you will not become very prosperous. It's a fact, because prosperity is about physical things, buying machines, buying cars. You see, that is what it is all about. That's why America is prosperous. It's because they focused on the natural world, and they became manufacturers. Any manufacturing country cannot be poor. You see why Africa is poor? It's not a manufacturing continent. That's the problem. If Africa fixes manufacturing, they get. Do you know, if Africa fixes manufacturing, they don't even need to travel with planes and ship to get minerals. They're in Congo. But because we are too spiritual, the Asians and Europeans come and get those minerals and take them to their land to make those things. Then they come to sell it to poor Africans who even don't have money to buy them. And we make those countries very rich. So it's a united world. It's weird. Yes, Africa is building China. Africa is building America without manufacturing, because we have the resources. It's just that we don't have the capability to use those resources. So we give it to those who know, and we continue being spiritual. That is Africa for you. It's so funny. Okay. Abuk is the first woman in the midst of the Dinka people of South Sudan and Nuer, and who call her Buk or Akol. Her emblem or symbols are a small snake, the moon, and sheep. She is the mother of the god of rain and fertility, Denka. The story from her birth to marriage and childbirth is this one. Beautiful story. She was born very small. When placed in a pot, she swelled like a bean. Abuk and a mate called Garang, remember Garang, were given one corn each to eat per day by the Creator God. This happened at a time when Abuk had finished growing. The whole of all human people would have become famished if not for the fact Abuk went to steal the food the people needed. She was Robin Hood. Rain god called Deng was joined to Abuk in order that there might be abundance in the land. A daughter, Ayak, and 2 sons were born to them. So you see, Dinka mythology. And your mythology is always going to be about your environment. You see, beans, pots. They're not writing about iPhone. They are just talking about what they know. That's what I'm trying to. You see, the AI religion of today, they are talking about iPhone. We worship you, the iPhone God, as we connect and code each and every day. That's what's happening in Silicon Valley. The church is there. We're doing very well. So you always create a mythology with the environment you have. Go to that AI church in California. Are they talking about pots, grain? They are talking about AI, machine learning. And I'm just transcended on program C++, and I received, whatever is happening there is glorious, because they are computer scientists, and they have even spiritualized computer science. The reason being, computer science is over. It's finished. Finished. It's mathematics and it's done. Do you know what mathematics is add 0. How many zeros can you add? Mathematics is that bad. It hurts. It's infinity. It's the study of infinity. In fact, 0. 0 is the worst number, yet the best number in mathematics. Because all you do is just add zeros, 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 zeros. Do you know how Zimbabwe survived? 0. Saved that country. When money was getting out of short, the central bank kept on adding zeros. Adding to survive. Beautiful. And that's true. You can add zeros for 1 billion years. Just think how many zeros are those. Adding 0 for 1 billion years. How many are those? Are you seeing how poor we are? And I'll talk about this mathematics, the spiritual mathematics next time. And how billionaires, billionaires, you think they are rich? They're not. They're still very far from having a lot of money. But what you need to understand, too many zeros does not mean you're rich. What makes you rich is what you own. What makes you rich is what you own. And the problem of ownership, you see, why economics in the world is going to get hard is because the population is increasing, but the resources are not. You see, gold, oil, they are not increasing. In fact, the fossils, people who are dying right now, are not yet decomposed enough to get the oil. Of course, the oil fields in Saudi Arabia and America, there's still oil, yes. But what I mean is, now when every country becomes advanced, every country will have the same appetite as an advanced country. So that means we will need more resources, and hopefully, I'm really praying the minerals that are used to make phones and all of these machines are there. Because imagine if Africa was an advanced continent, first world continent, do you know how many people will have iPhones? And do you know what it means? It means Apple has to go and buy very many minerals, bauxite and titanium from Congo. So they will finish, the minerals in Congo will be finished, and then people are still giving birth to more people in these advanced countries, and then there will be no iPhone to be made because the minerals have gone. They are finished. And that's why the world is very beautiful, as I sang in my song. We're in a magnificent world. Reason being, the countries the more advanced you get, the less your population becomes. People stop having children the more advanced you get. The less advanced you are, you have more children. So it's a beautiful, I don't know how to describe the world. When you look at it, it's organized chaos. Organized. It's working, but it's not working. It's a paradox. Because imagine if Europeans were making babies like nothing. Oh my goodness, we'd be crying today. Africa would be very poor. Because Europe will have to take care of their children. And they can't send aid. Do you know why they send aid? They have money. And their populations are small. And they have already taken care of their people. So now they can take care of Africa. Because we are many, but we are poor. So they can now take care. But imagine if they had very many people, Europe and America, very many. They will tell you, oh, I can't help you. We are so many, we have very many problems. People are too many here, we can't help. Africa would collapse and would kill each other because of lack. So that's the power of demography, and the relationship between demographics and economics is that when you have a lot of money, you tend to have less children. Interesting. Okay, that's Sudan, a book. Okay. We wanted to go back to Aizan. We'll read those ones. Alalat, yes, these ones I'm going to read later on. So that's why I'm leaving them there. Usiku Kumadevu, the Zulu goddess, she is said to be a monstrous deity, hunchbacked, and with a beard who eats children. According to legend, one day she came upon the children of a chief as they were unguarded. She quickly swallowed them. The chief discovered what happened and instantly set out to find her. Soon he did, and killed her by stabbing her in the hump. His child emerged unscathed from the mouth, and she had a husband of the same name. So you see, Usiku Kumadevu, she was a cannibalist. She was a cannibal goddess. Very interesting. Oh, these things. Knowledge is beautiful. Sometimes you just need to read. Orisa Olua is a deity of Yoruba mythology who forbids the use of umbrella. In Oweye Ketu, Ogun State, southwestern Nigeria, the deity is one of the 3 items brought to the town king by King Olumu from Ife, and the other items includes a crown and a staff, Opa Obo. So it's just a deity who does not want the use of an umbrella. Yes, and contrary to belief, the umbrella was also made in Africa, especially West Africans. Yes, people need to know that we knew how to make shades. If you look at the ancient West African umbrellas, very nice, big, similar to the ones of India. Very big shade. Those are the umbrellas. Okay, that is that Yoruba god. Then we have Ayanjoku, is also a Nigerian goddess worshipped by the Igbo people. She's responsible for yams, which are an important ingredient in the Igbo diet, and the men who care for them. Farming yams is a traditional male job in the Igbo tribe unless one is weeding or harvesting. And the Ahonjoku festival is celebrated among the Igbo people on a full moon before the New Yam festival. So she's responsible for yams, and she's also responsible for the men who take care of the yams, because yam farming is done by men, not women. So you see, even contrary to what people believe, they believe that only women are farmers. No, even men are farmers in Africa, and that's what you can see in the Igbo tribe. Okay, let's see how far are we. I hope we're almost done. Nana Buluku is the supreme being in the Western African traditional religion of Fon people, Benin, Dahomey, and Ewe of Togo. And she is the mother supreme creator who gave birth to the moon spirit Mawu, the sun spirit Lisa, and all of the universe. You see, this is similar to the Aborigines. The goddess gives birth to the universe. Unlike the Atum of Egypt, who masturbated and his semen created the world. The Milky Way is his masturbation of Atum. But in other religions, it's not the man who creates, it's the woman who creates. And here, Nana Buluku gave birth to the moon spirit. I like that meaning. The sun is a spirit, yes. The sun is a star. Never forget that. And then another thing we're also going to study is astrology. Astrology with the countries is very weird. The ancient world did not have the telescopes that we have today. So because of that, they could not see what a planet was. So like Venus was called a star, the bright morning star. That was the name for Venus. But when you go to Venus, it's not a star, it's a planet. Same to all the planets in the world. They just used to think they were stars. Anything they saw in the sky was a star. Later on, they started using the word called planets because the astrologers started saying they still didn't have telescopes, but they looked at the planets and they said, these things are not twinkling. They just have light reflecting on them. So that's when now they started calling them planets. Even in the Bible, the word planets comes late in the book of Kings. Why? It should have come early. They didn't know what it was. They just thought they were stars because they were bright in the sky. So that's what you need to understand. The sun is a spirit. That's what I'm happy about, called Lisa. I'm happy about because the sun is a star. Never forget that. The sun is a star. And in fact, sometimes the day star is the sun. And the bright morning star, people always say it's Lucifer or Saturn, but it's the sun. That's why Jesus is called the bright morning star, the same as Saturn. It's weird. That confusion confuses people every day. Yes. Every day. Because Saturn was called the star, the bright morning star, the sun of the morning. And Jesus is also called the day star. So, Jesus is Saturn. That's how you can conclude. It's weird. It's weird. And so much language. So, now, she's the primary creator, Mawu Lisa, the secondary creator, and the theology based for voodoo, voodoo, and voodoo. So, Dahomey is the home of voodoo and of the Fon people. Okay. South Americans, you see, and the Caribbean, they still worship Nana. In French Guyana, Suriname, Guyana, Brazil, Trinidad, Martinique, Haiti, and other Caribbean islands. So Nana was very important because millions of the West Africans who were captured and enslaved and shipped to the Atlantic brought them their religious ideas, including Nana Buluku. So she's celebrated as Nanya and Tambor Demina and Nana Buruku in Kandobi Ketu, where she's pictured as a very old woman other than the creation itself. Wonderful. Wonderful. Oh, beautiful. I finished that one. I don't need to read it again. Asaseya is the earth goddess of fertility of the Ashanti people, and she's also known as the mother earth of Aberewa. Asaseya is the wife of Nyame, the sky deity who created the universe. Asasaya gave birth to two children, Bea and Tano. He's also called Bia. Asaseya is also the mother of Anansi, the trickster and divine stepmother of the sacred high chiefs. Asaseya is very powerful, though no temples are dedicated to her. Instead, she is worshipped in the agricultural fields of Ashanti city-state. So worship can even take place in the fields. Leave these people who say that we worship only in a temple. No, there is Templar worship and there is non-Templar worship. And so this is non-Templar worship where you worship in the field. Abraham was non-Templar. He never built a temple. He worshipped in the open. Yes. You can even worship God like alone, just like this. Yes, that's worship. No one should tell you, you're not going to church. Therefore, you're not spiritual. No, you don't have to go to a building. Your spirituality is everywhere. Everywhere. Even on your bed. everywhere. It's, now these days we've left, those are control freaks. They just want to put you in a box. And I like this about the Asaseya. Asaseya favored Ashanti people are occupationally Ashanti workers in the agricultural fields, and planet Jupiter is her symbol. So you see, the Ghanaians were able to discern that Jupiter was a planet. And they said she is the earth goddess of fertility, the upholder of truth, and the creator goddess who comes to fetch Ashanti people's souls to the other world, planet Jupiter, at time of death. Where is hell? Nowhere. No hell. All the souls of the Ashanti go to Jupiter. She is credited as being the nature of the earth and is considered to provide sustenance for all. When a member of the Ashanti people group wants to prove his or her credibility, he or her touches his lips to the soil of Ashanti city and recites the Asaseya prayer poem. There you are. Beautiful. And look, the Abo song in the Americas, Jamaica. So the Ghanaian Africans were taken, some of them were taken to Jamaica, and they continued worshipping Asaseya. And the English people recorded it as Asasarsai. They showed worship by pouring libations and offering up harvested foods. Very, very interesting. The Akan religion. This should be the... No, it's not Akan. Sorry. These are Ashantis. Wow, it's lovely. Don't you think? Yes, it is. Okay, and then now we have that Badan is the Dat Hami. This is the goddess of Ethiopia, sorry. She of the wild goats and she of the sanctuary was a Arab. That is very wrong English. Was an Arab. Right? This is dangerous. There is not even a footnote. No wonder the English is horrible. That Badan was a nature goddess of the oasis and was worshipped at tree-circled pools throughout the region of ancient Yemen and Ethiopia. So that Hami or that Badan, she of the wild goats and she of the sanctuary. So I think the word she is that, and Badan is a wild goat. Okay. No, I don't think we need these Semitic gods. Yes, I take time to read other things. Good, I think we're done with the... Okay, it can't come on. I don't want to put the internet. Yeah, we are done with our series of goddesses, female spirits, and it was in honor of the Women History Month, and it's done. This is the last week of March. So yes, it is. I had to check that again. Yeah, so it was the last week of the month of the Women's History Month, and we've enjoyed ourselves reading about feminine persons in religion, in spirituality, in science, and in philosophy. And it's not that men are not there, they are also there, but we honor women because of the oppression. Because of being women, there has been systemic oppression of anything feminine. And that's what we have to understand. And the saddest thing is that this oppression is based even on natural sciences. That's what you need to really understand. So it's not yet over. Some feminists, if you're a feminist and your struggle is based on changing the laws, I think you're a more happy feminist than a feminist who wants to change culture. Because if you change culture, it's a very hard thing, especially when it comes to feminism, or allowing women to be equal. Because many people, their view of women is based not only on culture but natural science. They look at a woman and see she's weak, she menstruates, she has a baby. Why do you want to make her leader? You know? Why? That's what these naturalists think. And they have a point. That's why I told people in the Rex Arthur video, my Rex Arthur channel, the secular one. I said the good thing about the Catholic Church, they have men and women leaders. Of course, the women, the farthest they go is being a nun or an abbess. And what makes them well is that these women don't have children. For one reason, they will focus on work. So the Catholic Church has actually equalized, especially in the area of service, not in the priesthood. Priesthood, they still have a problem. And I think they can solve it. All you do, just promote nuns to become priests. Yeah. And they won't have children. Now, reason being, the life of taking care of children is very demanding. And it becomes very wrong to put so much pressure on someone who has another job. Yes. That's why for me, I would rather put single people in office. Yes. They will have time. You put all the burdens on them. And you go and take care. If you have a family, you take care of your family. The guy is taking care of the country. Yes, it's because they don't have very many burdens. It's the same. Even the reason why there's a lot of corruption in Africa. The people you've hired have families. And they need money. And so when you dangle money in their eyes, they will steal. The temptation is so high to steal because you have a family to take care of. Yes, that's why, see the Catholic Church? Go and look at the scandals. Very few financial scandals. Alright, enough said. Let me go and attend to other things. Thank you for joining us this day.